Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin in Tucson, Arizona. Also, TucsonCoinshow.com. Come down to Tucson in January to the Tucson Invitational Coin and Currency Expo hosted by the Coin Geek, Old Pueblo Coin, and Stax Bowers. And come on down and see us down there. You're going to have a good time at the Casino del Sol. Now, today, for those of you who aren't aware of what just happened this last weekend, there's this day that's October 31st. And for most of you, you understand what that's about. And for the rest of us, it's what we call Reformation Day, right? Obviously. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, basically there was this event, 500 and some odd years ago in Germany with this guy named Martin Luther, and he challenged the church's position on some stuff, and he did what was called the 95 Theses, where he, hammered the 95 Theses to the Württemberg door. Well, that was common, by the way. Everyone, that's like just having a, if you go to the library and they might have the bulletin board, people did that. It wasn't nothing dramatic about it. And he had all these things, and they were 95, but they kind of ran together like this, and talking about making changes, and he wasn't trying to start any different types of religion. He was trying to reform the current church. And so today's kind of little video is not about that. It is, if you will, like the Reformation for the coin industry and for the coin market in general. And this is maybe very Americanized. I don't know. For those of you who watch in other countries, your culture, your coin collecting culture may be a little bit different than ours. But I just want to talk about a few things that I think would maybe be good. Changes that might be helpful, things that I'd like to see. And you can chime in and put down comments below about things that maybe you think, if there's like one thing that you would change about the industry. Of course, when Martin Luther went down, he was talking about things that were usually pretty negative. He's like, yeah, this is bad. We got to stop doing that, right? And then eventually, as he furthered his theological career, he got more into like, hey, this is good. You should look at this. So this is going to be a little bit more of that. This is kind of a bad thing, right? So like mail order companies, my first thing on the wall, if we could find a way to get rid of mail order companies that shouldn't exist, like, and I don't mean, like, oh, you're Littleton and you're selling coins at $4 coins for $7 or $8, whatever. I mean, like the guys who sell $2,000 gold coins to little old ladies for $4,000 or $8,000 or whatever. Like, I would love to get rid of that. This is like the purgatory of, it just shouldn't exist, right? Like there's nothing in the Bible about that. There's no place in the coin industry for mail order companies. Can we please just find a way to get rid of those guys? That would be fantabulous. So the other things that are kind of polluting our numismatic theology, how about Chinese fakes on eBay? Can someone explain to me why we have all this AI technology and like the biggest selling platform in America, in the world maybe, they can't keep basic Chinese fakes that you could use AI to spot from 1,000 miles away off of eBay? What? Come on, man. I just think that we should be able to get rid of the eBay fakes, the Chinese fakes. It's a problem. And like for me, it doesn't matter personally because I see them and I know what they are. Right away, I can see them. But, there's plenty of people who live in a coin desert. For those of you who don't know, that's someplace where they don't have a local coin shop or coin show or coin dealers to, coin club to look at coins. So they just buy stuff online and they're getting hosed left and right. By the way, not only that, there's the eBay problem, but then there's like Temu and these other, I've seen them on Amazon. I've seen fake. You want to see Amazon will put fake stuff up there on your feed. Instagram will have, your feed will be full of this stuff. From these countries, they're completely fake. And they don't say that they're fake. They're very deceptive in the ways that they're worded. And it's no bueno. All right, so we got 2. I have 93 more to go, but we won't really do too many. I just want to have a few things to point out about how I think things that I think would help in general. Because the mail order company, the ones that are doing the $8,000 coins that are really $2,000 coins, hurt like a certain segment of the population, usually the elderly who don't know. The fake coins on eBay or Temu are hurting usually people who have less money, who are just getting into the marketplace, and they're getting hurt. Maybe lower information voter type people, right? It's just people who don't have as much experience or knowledge. Maybe they're young or they just don't have a lot of money. And like they're getting hosed completely. So you have people that are older and younger who are both getting just completely brutalized by those first two. All right, next let's move into the actual coin market itself for just a minute. So one of the most radical positions I have, and I have it for a reason because I'm a radical, so is that I actually think that we should move away from the Sheldon scale of 70 points. Just no more. Just get rid of that thing. I'm done with it. I'm so over that. So it causes so many more problems than it causes solutions. I would love to see us go to a verbal only grading system. Now, I know some of you said, well, Ben, if you do a verbal only grading system, it's like going to the 10-point scale. You're doing the same thing, only you're just lining it up, right? So a 10 is a 70. All you did is you changed the 70 with some other word, you know? And I don't think that that's actually true. I think that there's some truth to that, but like most things theological, that little bit of truth is a problem that people fall for the bad idea, right? I want you to fall for my bad idea, okay? So let's try this. So the verbal only gets people to stop looking at things in a linear fashion. Coin grading is not linear. Coin grading is not linear, folks. It just isn't. It is not a numeric 65 to 66 and the coin is magically different. I actually spit on my own camera. That was exciting. So it is not linear at all. And so we have a linear thought process when it comes to coin grading because of the Sheldon scale. But what we should be able to do is look at a coin and say, this is uncirculated, this is a choice uncirculated, this is a gem uncirculated, a superb gem uncirculated. And instead you get the better idea of the fact that this particular item is going to be within this strike zone, because the grades are actually more like strike zones than they are like a number, right? It is not simply an exact fact. It is this coin has all the attributes of a whatever the grade is. Now, the next thing involved with this is where I would consider putting a numeric, but maybe descriptive, but you could do a 5-point numeric, is I do think that on graded coins, certified coins that are in holders, I want to see a surface quality something. Like there's old school holders that had some type of surface quality. A lot of those companies didn't survive, and some of them didn't do a good job of describing the surface quality to start with. But you know, NGC Ancients does this with their strike quality and their surface quality. And really what we do is we have cleaning. We call everything's cleaned or doctored, or, you know, we don't necessarily have a consistent way on just an average coin to say what is the grade, what's the surface quality on this coin, and why are we giving it the numeric grade that we've been giving it. If you're still going to use numeric grades because you don't like my stupid idea, that's fine. But listen, can we please just get surface grades on coins instead of being like, well, on some coins we'll go proof-like or deep proof-like. Okay, we're doing that, right? We'll say the word clean, but can we just talk about like what we're seeing here? Can we put a chart up? You know, something to be able to let people know why this coin's surface quality is meriting a certain grade, right? Because oftentimes you'll see coins that have a numeric grade given to it because it has to do with the surface quality, but it doesn't say that on the coin. So unless you're an advanced collector, you don't realize that this coin that looks like a gem but is graded 63 is graded 63 because it's probably been dipped a couple times, right? It has a lower surface quality. It doesn't have that super fresh skin to it, right? Which is like just a term I use sometimes when you see a coin that's just like, wow, that's exactly how it should look, right? Nothing has happened. The skin hasn't aged. It doesn't have any, you know, nothing's coming off. The hair isn't migrating, you know, nothing. All right. Last but not least, because I'm not on my meds today. All right. I want a symposium on toning, right? So this would be like the diet of worms. Some of you know what I'm talking about right now. So I want the grading companies to get together, all your grading minds, you know, come on together. Let's get a toning symposium on, because one of the things that's changed in the last decade, maybe even the last 5 years, is the use of questionable color versus artificial toning versus like we don't know, right? Like the number of coins that I see that are toned, these bright blue cents, and I'll have one toned that way, and then I'll send it in. It'll be questionable color, right? And the number of things that are coming back right now with we don't know, instead of a hard and fast stance, I just want everyone to get together, explain to the grading community, the coin community, why it is that we're calling certain things. Tell us, educate us on what we can look for to understand why certain things are getting kicked out of the system and called questionable color, when from my eyes and when I talk to lots of other dealers, they're saying the same thing. We don't see it. Like, this is a coin that would have straight graded 5 or 6 years ago, and now we're just putting QC on everything. There you go. So aren't you glad I didn't actually have 95 theses? I think this is really enough to start with, and by all means, chime in. Join the Coin Reformation. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.